All right, let's look at the SPY. SPY still in the middle of the box, squeezing a lot of people. 10 over the 50. Bullish MACD right now, increasing volume. This is a real indecision candle. So you can see, if you guys are looking at the 30-minute, you could definitely see that we went up, came back down, then went back up. So there's a huge amount of volatility. If people are day trading, they're probably loving this. If you're swing trading, you might be hating life a little bit because the overnight plays have been really, really rough to play out. But again, we want to make sure we're looking at the big picture. You can see if we extend this out again, we're just sideways consolidating for a long time. We've had a little break up, break back in, but it's still trading the box needs over that 190. Bearish MACD on the weekly, bullish MACD on the daily SPY. So just have to call it as we see it. We see this level of support still got tagged, and you know, we still have to see if we can get above this downtrend line right here. This is around that 80, 88, 89 level. It needs to get above that. It's between the 10 and the 50 with bullish MACD. So we want to see at least if we could close above this. The 50 will be the test, and also the pivot point from right here is going to be the test as well, around the 89 level. So we want to look at that. The Russell touching this level again. Is this demand? Not sure, but we definitely want to see if there's a higher low or a higher low from at least the high of this day to be breaking 1132. But you know, be cautious. We're in between the 10 and the 50, so we have to see what's going on. MACD not really telling much, so we're just trying to see if this price level is going to hold. We look at the IWM to see if there's the volume, and the volume again is holding this 200. We need above the 10, need above the 50. The MACD's not really saying much. It's gone up and gone back down, so tomorrow will be a big day. Well, you know, we want to see what the price action is doing. We do have the higher low from here to here right now, so just be cautious. Last but not least, the diamond's at the top of the box, another indecision candle. Again, you look at the 30-minute, you can see that we went all the way down. I actually had to go for a doctor's appointment. I came back, I was like, Jesus, like, look at, I thought it was going to be a meltdown or something. And then, you know, again, I took my profits where I had, and we'll address them tomorrow, some new positions on what I had. But I had a long Apple, I had a short Netflix that I got out of, and you know, because look at this stuff. I mean, this is a lot of volatility, and you have to just play it accordingly. But we have to get above this level. Okay, with all this box trading, looking at the weekly again, you just extend this out. You can see that you know, we need to get above this level. Now, if you look at like the QQQ, some people might be calling a head and shoulders pattern, especially right here, head, left head, right shoulder right here. My thing is all about, it needs to break this area because this is the neckline. Until those are broken, the head and shoulder pattern is really just something to be aware of, but it's not confirmed. So I don't really like saying a lot of it because, you know, sometimes you just get a formation. Like you could get it here. You could, you know, some people might say, is this the neckline? So again, we have to see that the immediate trend, if we took this, kind of took it over here, you can see that the immediate trend is in a down channel. So we just have to respect that. The head and shoulders pattern, you know, just got to be careful with that. Apple continued to show mega strength, engulfing pattern, continued up, closed near the highs. You can see that it's pretty much for the, you know, on 30-minute kept up and got up and did really, really well today. So again, a psychological number is 600. Breaks above that, it can run. Where it can run, God he knows. But I mean, you just gotta, I'm gonna look and see if there's some support and resistance areas that I could look at. Google still looks, I mean, on the weekly, it's still coming back to test this 50. You can see it's held at 200. But again, if you look at the highs, you can see that they're all pretty much going down. And if I parallel this, you can see that's pretty much in this down channel as well. So it's just at the bottom of the channel. So don't be super regressive and say, okay, now is the bottom because you have a 200 below, because under that 200 you got a crap big ass gap right there to fill, and I don't want to catch falling knives. So you have to be really, really nimble to see what's going on. Netflix is below this level that we were talking about before, and we just got to see, because this was the last place that you had demand. It came back, gave a little bit, but now it's closing below. So again, what's one support becomes resistance. So if it gives you, it's been down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. I mean, you're not expecting it to go to the floor immediately, but I would be looking at this as, either I'm going to look for a long intraday, or I'm just going to wait to see if it flags and gives me some type of flag if I want to go to the upside around this area or higher, because it is under the 10, is under 50, and you have this bearish MACD currently. LinkedIn still looks damaged. Twitter still at this demand level that you see right here. So we got to see if this can hold. It's been, not looking good before. Price lines are back. This was one support. Came, tested it, broke, tested and broke again. So, what was support becomes resistance, bearish MACD. Let's look at the weekly. It still has, it's between the 50 and the 10. So we want to see if these levels hold this 1100 area. But again, we just have to be super, super cautious regarding that. So be very, very careful right now. And if you don't feel like you like trading this environment, don't. It's nothing wrong with that. You can see Bank of America has shit the bed. Has something and pretty much closed at the low with a strong volume as well. So again, if this was the pivot point, you got to see, okay, it broke. Okay, it broke, and it's just not something I want to catch, because you look at this 30, you can see it broke below and it stayed below near the lows of the days. So you want to make sure that banking sector looks good. And again, it's breaking to some key support levels, and it could be just a pop up again and back to the downside. So be very, very cautious. Take care.